I find it strange that as big of a show that Hunter x Hunter is in scope, its popularity is nowhere near that of Sword Art, Attack on Titan, or even the big shonen shows like One Piece and Naruto. I'm not sure whether it's the preconceived notion of shonen or if it's due to its childish appearance, but for a show that seems to do everything right, it shouldn't be flying under your radar for much longer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ocean Planet. My name is WK and today we're going to be talking about Hunter x Hunter. Let's dive in. The Hunter x Hunter I'm going to be talking about today is the 2011 version that aired in October of that same year. Written by Togashi Yoshihiro and produced by Studio Madhouse. The story of Hunter x Hunter follows 12-year-old Gon Fricks, or Frissis, however they say it in the show, in his goals to become a hunter and find his dad. Of course, throughout the story, aspirations and resolve change, and so do the goals of Gon. There are a couple of arcs that run through the show, and those are the Hunter Exam arc, Zul'jik Family arc, Heaven's Arena arc, Phantom Troop arc, Greed Island arc, Chimera Ant arc, and there's one more that I won't talk about due to a little bit of spoilers. In each of these arcs, new characters are introduced, but even more importantly, Gon's growth as a person greatly changes arc to arc. The kiddish feel of the show that you first initially gets immediately shrugged off due to the gruesome deaths that transcend the blood piñata and actually make you feel sometimes awkward and disgusted, along with the childhood feel mixed in. The cast of characters that are in this show is very numerous, and I could spend a whole video on each character's aspirations, but for right now I'm only going to focus on the two buddy group, Gon and Killua. Gon is a fun-loving kid who is near the start of the show very naive. Most characters are when they first start off. His aspirations are really the ones that are naive though. Throughout his journey, unlike some shonen, there's no special ability that he just has and gets, but through his training and resolve, he actually learns to hone his abilities to the person that he eventually grows to be. In fact, by the time you reach the Chimera Ant arc, you see a truly battle-hardened kid. You start to ask yourself, who is he really fighting for, and what is Gon's true goal? This is why I feel that Gon surpasses traditional shonen archetypes and becomes the breadth that the show lives off of. There's one thing that always brings him together in the end though, and that's his friend Killua. The story of Killua is truly dark as he was raised as a killer through his family, the Zul'jiks. This means he has to withstand torture, psychiatric strain as a young kid inside of this family. However, after meeting Gon, his true boyhood comes out as him and Gon are the same age. I would consider him a tragic hero as he always aspires to keep Gon protected, not just as partners, but as true friends. He's usually the thinker and the most strategic, being able to consider the battle as is, while Gon is more of the one to charge in without regard of his health. This is why these two opposites fit well together. Of course, with how much time the show gives us, characters introduced even for short periods of time become fully fleshed out. Leorio, Kurapika, being two of the side characters with the most screen time, have their importance on and off screen. Of course, the multitudes of characters get the same connection. Even villains like Hisoka or the Chimera Ants all have physical and emotional connection, and that's something you don't get to see that often. Art direction for this show is very well realized as you feel the adventure through the different scenes. Forests look dark and grim, oceans seem very wide and vast, and cities feel busy. Unfortunately, with the use of really bright colors, most people do get that childish shonen element, which is unfortunate because the details put into every scene can either add enjoyment or fear. There's a scene during the Phantom Troop arc where a man is impaled onto a wall, body partially missing, but you can't help but feel this true melancholy feeling overcoming you as you're watching this deep and dark scene. Of course, this is just one aspect. Another thing I'd like to point out is how amazing the monsters look, with difference being given to each individual one. Character design also flourishes here as each character has something special to offer with how they dress, how they act, the special moves that they learn, so on and so forth. Music for this show, though being individually nice, does get a little repetitive, which should happen with a show of this many episodes. The orchestral score does know how to fit the scene, however, with big horns and majors to accentuate excitement, and flutes and deep drums for darker scenes. The opening theme Departure is a fun song to listen to as the show starts, but does get a little tiresome after the 148th time. But it's okay, they switch verses every 20 episodes. Where Hunter x Hunter truly shines musically is in its endings. Two of the best ending music I've ever had in an anime is Just Awake by Fear and Loathing in Vegas as an electronic / metalcore ballad, and Hyori Tai as an acoustic duet. These two songs really accentuate the scenes and the endings of the current arcs that they both stand for, and this adds a nice layer of depth to them. Hyori Tai is probably one of the better endings that I've ever heard in the show, but Just Awake probably getting ahead of it just a teeny bit. The emotion in this show is exceptionally powerful, with scenes making your heart flutter and pound, and by the time the show comes to its final episode, you feel like you've been through the same journey Gon's been through. Unfortunately, with the ending, they tease more to come, but the manga is only about 20 or so chapters ahead of the ending, and along with this creator being plagued with many health problems, sicknesses, hiatuses, it may be a few years away until we actually get another Hunter x Hunter remake or reboot. But the ending did satisfy me enough to pacify until that time. To be honest, when I was first told about Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, I left it super far on my back burner list. I was plagued with the community's constant ideals on the shonen genre that it didn't interest me. It wasn't until my completion of Gintama that I was ready to give shonen another shot. What I found in Hunter x Hunter is not only beyond the tropes of traditional shonen, but compelling and has taken me on a roller coaster of emotion. With all that being said, Hunter x Hunter gets an overall score of 9.5 out of 10. Once again, thank you guys all for watching, and until next time, keep swimming.